In the world of AI, there's this constant mantra that bigger is always better. We're talking more data, more computing power, just more of everything. But what if that's not the whole story? What if a team of small, nimble AIs could actually outperform a single giant one? Well, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating experiment that does exactly that.
So let's start with a really basic question. How does a story even begin? I think we all have this image of a lone genius, getting struck by a bolt of lightning. But honestly, most of the time, that's not how it works at all. It's messy, it's collaborative.
The truly great ideas, well, they're usually forged in the heat of a good discussion, right? One person has a little spark, another one fans the flames, and pretty soon the whole team is gathered around this roaring fire of an idea. It feels like a fundamentally human thing to do. Or maybe it's not?
Okay, so let's set the stage. Here's the challenge that was put on the table. Create a complete storyboard for a children's book. The whole shebang. And the main character? A cat who dreams of being a unicorn. Pretty adorable, right? Now, every project needs a team. So, meet the crew. You've got Peter, he's kind of the leader, the one keeping the project on track. Then there's Mary, who's the character and theme guru. Ian is the world builder. He's all about the juicy details and plot twists. And Paul, he's got the visual eye. It sounds just like a classic writer's room, doesn't it? And just listen to how they talk to each other. This is pure collaborative energy. It's not just one person throwing out an idea and that's it. No, they're actively saying, hey, I like your rainbow meadow idea. What if we add the sound the meadow makes? They're layering things, making the idea richer together than any single one of them could alone. All right, you ready for the twist? Because this is the whole point. Peter, Mary, Ian, and Paul, they aren't people, not even close. They are all small, 4 billion parameter AI models. Each one was given a specific personality to play, all working together as a team. So the big question is, how did this little AI team actually do? Let's break down how they created their story, which they ended up calling Whisker's Unicorn Dream. This is basically a story about how a story got made. First up, they needed a hero. And I love this part because you can see how they built the character piece by piece. The whole team agreed on the name, Whiskers. Simple enough. But then Mary jumps in and says, hey, what if he's a curious tinkerer? Love that. She adds that he should wear goggles and be a little clumsy. Then Ian takes that idea and runs with it, suggesting his first scene should be an experiment going boom. And just like that, Whiskers has a personality. It's amazing. And here's where it all comes together in the very first storyboard panel. You've got Ian's boom in the workshop idea, and it mashes up perfectly with Mary's tinkerer with goggles. You can just picture it, can't you? This little cat, glitter flying everywhere. And get this, they even wrote a rhyming caption for it. Now, as they were building out the plot, they realized it couldn't just be about a cat trying to get a unicorn horn. The story needed some heart. So Ian, the plot guy, suggested adding what he called a kindness beat, a moment where Whiskers does something selfless. And here it is, panel 6. Mary, who's all about the story's themes, completely embraced Ian's idea and wove it right into the fabric of the story. So this moment isn't just some random side quest. It becomes totally central to Whisker's character and the story's message about what real magic is. So you can imagine this process, right? Just back and forth, debate, building on ideas, refining things. And they kept doing that until, bam, they had a complete 14-panel storyboard that was actually coherent and really, really charming. Okay, this is all incredibly cool to see in action, but how is this even possible? How can a team of small AIs pull this off? Well, that brings us to the core concept here, something called the collaboration café. Think of it like this. The old way is to use one gigantic AI model. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. It's powerful, for sure, but you don't really see how it got there. It's a black box. This collaborative approach is totally different. Instead of one giant brain, you have a whole team of smaller, specialized minds. They don't just spit out one answer. No, they argue, they challenge each other, they build on each other's points. And that diversity just leads to a way better, more creative result. So that's the collaboration cafe in a nutshell. It's a structured system that's literally designed to let these small AIs team up. It's all about harnessing that power of teamwork to solve problems that a single AI, even a big one, might completely miss. Look, creating a children's story about a cat is an amazing proof of concept. It really is. But this is where things get truly exciting, because you have to wonder what else this kind of AI teamwork could be used for. Because get this, after they finished the storyboard, the team didn't just stop and pat themselves on the back. Peter, the leader, stepped up and basically said, "Okay, team, creative work is done. Time to move to execution." They literally switched hats from a writer's room to a project management team. And I mean, just look at this plan they came up with. This isn't some vague wish list. This is a professional, actionable plan. They're assigning tasks to specific members, they're setting deadlines, a 15-minute check-in for consistency, Mary is tasked with the illustrator brief, a 24-hour deadline to pick an artist. This is straight out of a project manager's playbook. It's just remarkable. All of this brings us to a really, really big question. If a team of small AIs can do all of this, the creative work, the project planning, what are the actual limits here? Just let your mind run with it for a second. Imagine a team of AIs debating scientific hypotheses or exploring all sides of a complex ethical problem. What about brainstorming new engineering solutions or mapping out a business strategy or even tackling medical research? The potential is just massive. But for all this talk about these huge world-changing problems, let's just bring it back to Whiskers the cat for a moment. Because maybe the most incredible thing to come out of this entire experiment was the moral that the AI team wrote for their own story. You don't need to become someone else to shine. The magic lives inside you. I mean, wow, it's so simple and so profoundly human. And that kind of leaves you with one last big thought, doesn't it? This AI team, through working together, didn't just create a cute story. They actually uncovered a genuine truth about self-worth. So if they can do that, what else can they teach us? Not just about the world, but about ourselves.